How can space tech add atmosphere for terraforming Mars? Have you ever wondered how we might transform Mars into a planet that could support life? One of the biggest challenges is creating a breathable atmosphere. Currently, Mars has a very thin atmosphere, only about 0.6% of what we experience on Earth. It is mostly carbon dioxide with very little nitrogen and oxygen. So, how can space technology help in adding atmosphere for terraforming Mars? First, we need to increase the atmospheric pressure and temperature. This could allow for liquid water to exist and potentially support life. One approach is to release greenhouse gases. Mars has frozen carbon dioxide and water vapor at its poles and within its minerals. If we can warm the planet, these gases could be released, thickening the atmosphere and creating a greenhouse effect. However, studies indicate that the amount of accessible carbon dioxide on Mars is limited, making this a challenging task. Another innovative method involves using engineered dust particles. These tiny rod-shaped particles can be released into the Martian atmosphere. They work by trapping heat and reflecting sunlight back to the surface. This could raise temperatures by over 50 degrees Fahrenheit. As the planet warms, it could trigger the releases of more carbon dioxide and water vapor, naturally thickening the atmosphere. This method uses materials already found on Mars, making it more feasible than older proposals. There are also ideas about importing gases from other sources. For instance, ammonia or hydrocarbons could be brought in from asteroids or moons. This would help add nitrogen and other gases to Mars's atmosphere, creating a more Earth-like composition. However, this would require complex and costly space missions. Another interesting concept is to use large mirrors in orbit around Mars. These mirrors would reflect additional sunlight onto the surface, warming it and helping to release trapped gases. This indirect method could contribute to building up the atmosphere over time. Lastly, long-term plans might involve creating an artificial magnetic field. Mars lacks a strong global magnetic field, which means any atmosphere added could be lost to solar wind. Protecting the atmosphere from this erosion would be essential for any terraforming efforts. In summary, space technology can help add atmosphere for terraforming Mars by warming the planet to release existing gases. Recent advances in engineered dust particles show promise for achieving this warming efficiently. However, creating a stable atmosphere like Earth's will require overcoming significant challenges, including the limited availability of gases and the lack of a protective magnetic field. This ambitious goal would likely take decades and involve a combination of innovative technologies and resource utilization.